I was just talking to the school teachers the other day, our homeschool teachers. I think even in the Bhavaspandana programs, we're talking about, it's like a roller coaster. When we say a roller coaster, people are usually thinking it's a wild thing. Not true. A roller coaster is more controlled than your car. If you drive your car, it may go off here and there a little bit. Any moment you can go off the road and back on the road. A roller coaster is fixed on its rails 100%, always on the track, never going off for a moment. Perfect order. But in experience, on the surface, it's total disorder. Only people who are sitting in it think it's a wild thing. People who are managing it think it's a perfect machine in proper order. It never goes off the track. So, spiritual culture is always, we are trying to manage it like a roller coaster. One part of it is perfectly on rails, always. Rest of it is going wild. It looks like you don't want to have anything to do with it because it's so crazy. At the same time, another part of it, the bottom line is fixed so perfectly well that it never goes off the track. It takes a steady stomach to take that ride. If you don't have a stable stomach, you can't even sit in a car, you know. Don't choose any cultures. Act intelligently in your life without identifying with any culture. If you are choosing to go in a particular direction, a certain type of culture is advantageous. If you're choosing to go in a different direction, if your life is all about enjoying the physicality of life, turn west, they do it better. If your life is about knowing the inner dimensions, turn east, we've always done it better. So the choice is not about which culture, the choice is about what is it that you want to do with your life, what is suitable for your way, your search, your longing. You arrange your life intelligently around that, you will belong to some culture, what does it matter? So, when we say Isha culture, if you want to be spiritually active and alive all the time, when I was just 4 or 5 years of age, my parents were not so temple-going people. Once in 2-3 months, they went to… somehow their culture told them, though they had no much inclination, maybe for cultural reasons, they wanted to go to the temple. So when they want to go to the temple, I have questions. Now I have a condition, if you can't answer the question, I'm not entering the temple. They could not answer my questions, so I never entered the temple. So where to leave me? They always left me with the footwear man. And they told the footwear man, they gave him some money. If they'd given me that money, I would have sat in one place. They don't understand the dynamics of life. Because since I was maybe 9-10 years of age, I earned my own pocket money always. I never took a single rupee from my parents. So even when I was 4 or 5, I understood the dynamics well. If they had given the money, so this is the fee for you staying quiet, I would have just stayed quiet. Instead of that, they gave the money to that man and told him, you make sure that he's right here and he's not easy. So I remember he always held me like this. And he's doing his business with one hand, with the other hand, always he held me like this. So there was no escape. So I sat there and was trying to understand his business. People come and they leave their footwear with him. At that time, it's just 5 paisa per footwear, for a pair or 10 paisa if you have a family or something. That somebody wants to save and they'll leave their footwear elsewhere without leaving it at him. So this outside footwear sometimes God puts it on and walks away. And these people come out and when this footwear is missing, they curse the creation and the creator. And a whole drama happens. And sometimes they think this man has engineered this footwear disappearance. And even this man, he doesn't keep it in a proper way. Whatever he collects, he throws it in a heap. And when people come, he gives them the wrong footwear and a whole drama was happening. So this footwear thing went deep into me. So when we first started doing the yoga programs, first thing I said was, footwear should be parked properly. Are you still doing it in Chennai or no? Wherever you go, Isha Yoga, outside footwear will be neatly parked. No confusion about it. And we don't let God walk away with it. So if you bring this culture into yourself, whether it is a footwear or a crown, you handle it with the same care, with the same concern. Whether it's an ant or an elephant, you treat it with same concern. Whether somebody is a king or a beggar, you treat them the same way within yourself. If you learn to do the simple tasks of your life and the most important tasks of your life with the same involvement, whatever you have seen in the Isha Yoga programs, the volunteers are going about as if carpets are some kind of precision instruments. Have you seen this? They're going on like this, holding it like this, holding it like that. It must be exactly where it should be. Yes, everything in your life must be handled that way, small or big, if you don't make a distinction. Something that is dear to you or not dear to you, if you don't make a distinction, with the same level of involvement, if you handle everything, that's a good culture. That's a very good conducive culture for a spiritual seeker. No other culture is good for you. That should be your culture of involvement with everything. It is not that something is important, something is not important. Everything is important. If you live with… these are two types of cultures, everything is important or nothing is important. These two are spiritual in nature. This is what you see in this country. There are some people who don't care for anything. There are some people who are concerned about everything. But the moment you think something is important, something is not important, you are on the wrong culture. This is great, this is not great. This is good and this is bad. The moment you make this and start treating accordingly within yourself, outside, how we handle things, there is some discretion. But within you, there is no discretion, everything is same. If you just learn this and put this into your life, you are in the right culture. That is not spirituality. It creates a conducive atmosphere for a spiritual process. So this is the reason why in the Eastern cultures, you see a cow, you bow down. You see a snake, you bow down. You see a tree, you bow down. You see a beggar, you bow down. You see a king, you bow down. You see God, you bow down. Whatever you see, you bow down. This is not some kind of subservience. This is taking away the distinction of your judgment as to what is important and what is not important. Everything that has been created in this existence is important, that's why it's here. If the Creator thought it's worthwhile to create a rock, why do you think it's not important? If the Creator took such elaborate care to create an ant, have you looked at an ant closely? If you look at an ant closely, you will see it's an exquisite piece of art. If somebody took so much care to create this teeny little creature with so much care, who the hell are you to think it's not important? Yes, conducting our life, we have to do so many things, then why are you not teaching? There's one going right here. Why are you not teaching yoga to the ant? Because we know only four-limbed yoga. Though we talk about 8 limbs to yoga, we know only four-limbed yoga, we are still not competent to teach him yoga. So we just let him pass, we don't demand anything out of him. If you can look upon and act upon everything, small things in your life, big things in your life, with the same sense of involvement, that's the best culture. That culture, you must bring it into yourself and your children. It'll do good wherever they go, east or west.